Hi, welcome back to our 15 days of videos. So today the focus is on punches. Um, Heather is focusing on tools that don't get used a lot, and so I've decided to do my two videos on punches. So the first one I'm going to focus on is this floral punch. So I took from the Go the Scenic Route collection the paper that had all the different designs on it, and I punched a flower out of every single one of these. Now this is my Stamping Up floral punch that I've had forever, and I just don't pull it out. So the idea here is to pull out those supplies that you don't use a lot. So not only did I pull out the punches, I pulled out the brads. So I went through my brad collection and I pulled out brads that had colors in them that kind of went with the paper collection. And I matched a brad to every single flower. So there you can see I took brads and matched it to every single flower. And now I'm going to just show you what I did to put the brads in the middle of the flowers. I'm not going to show you on every single one of them, but basically, I took my small hole punch and I punched a hole in the middle and then stuck the brad through it as opposed to trying to find a pokey tool or something. It just seemed to work a lot easier. Then after I did that, I am going to take some Distress Oxide and go around the edges of it. But basically, this really made each of the flowers kind of look like flowers. It added a middle, it added a lot of different design elements. And as you're going to see in a little bit, it allowed me to use up, I think 24 brads, which is a lot. Now, it doesn't even put a small dent in my brad collection, but it was a lot that I used. So one of the things we're really trying to do here on these different videos is kind of give you an idea of different things you can do, and I am really challenging everybody. Get your punches out, get your brads out, use those this week. So as you go through the week, think about a page that you could do with one of your brads, whether it's this floor like a floral punch like I did, and putting brads in the middle, or maybe it's instead of using enamel dots, use brads. And then finally, if you don't think you're going to use the brads, Goodwill them. Find somebody that might, because they're not doing you any good just sitting in your stash. So I knew I wanted to have the flowers kind of be the focus of the page, so I didn't want to have to spend a lot of time finding another background paper. So instead, I made a background paper. So I have this cloud stencil. I think it's either Pink Fresh Studios or Picket Fences. And I did pick it up at Paper Issues. And I will link them as well. I get 90% of my supplies I get from my little scrapbook store, and I am on the design team there. But every once in a while, I find something at a different store that just kind of speaks to me. And this was Build a Cloud Stencil was one of those. And I really, really have enjoyed using it. Now, I did not use it the same way other people use it, which is, you leave a lot of white space, make the fluffy clouds. Instead, I mixed two different Distress Oxides, Tumble Glass and Faded Jeans, to kind of make the sky look dark and light and kind of give it a little bit different feel. Um, I'm not 100% sure that I love the way that looked. I just was playing around to try to see how it would look. I think if you get this stencil, I would kind of follow the instructions and do it differently than I did. I just was playing around and kind of just making spaces. So I do like how it ended up looking. I like the different shades of blue. Then on the bottom, I am going to take different greens and just kind of make some grass. So all I'm doing here is just building a background page. I am not trying to do anything fancy. I'm not trying to do any like techniques. I'm not adding water. This is just building a background page. So if you have a stencil, if you don't have the Build a Cloud stencil, you could simply just put blue on the top up there. And I looked to see if I had a grass stencil, something that would work for grass, and I didn't have anything. So, and I thought about using that one, but it's very geometric and it's a very geometric shape. And so instead, I just decide, you know what, I'm just going to put green on the bottom of the page. And it ends up working perfectly. So I get cracked pistachio and I believe mowed lawn, and I am just going to go to town. So these are my Pink Fresh Studios or Pink and Vein. I'm not sure which ones. Blending brushes. I use those for things like this when I am blending, just blending the colors together. They work really well. I those did come from my little scrapbook store, and I will link that below. I know she had some. She also had some of the larger ones in stock. So I have at this point I have three. One that I use for reds, one for greens, and then one's for blues. And you can basically, as long as you wipe them off pretty well, just go from color to color, particularly if you're just using them for stress oxides. So this is at 3 times speed. So this is basically what I did, and you'll see I'm just adding the different colors. Um, if you had added a little bit of rustic wilderness in it, it would have given it a little even darker green. And there we go. That's what I'm doing. See, it's like I read my own mind. It's been a while since I did this page, so it's kind of fun to go back and watch it as I do the voiceover. And then I'm just kind of going over it with the brush to kind of smooth out any lines. These blending brushes work a lot better than like the foam brushes if you're doing something like this. Now I am going to build the page up. So I'm going to take these two pictures are the two pictures that I want to use. They're of a flower garden in Ireland. I am still working on my Ireland album, and I wanted to take all of the flowers that I had and kind of build a little rainbow and then have some of them sticking out as flowers. So I took the ones that were predominantly white, and I used those as florals. And then the rest of them I laid out into a rainbow. Now, there weren't quite enough to have a real rainbow, but it worked out. I was able to have some blues and some purples, and they all kind of went together. I was able to kind of make it work. And that's what you do. So when you're doing something like this, you just kind of figure out how to put everything together. Now it's like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but it is a rainbow, and you can tell it's a rainbow, and it is flowers, and then those ones at the bottom are going to be more florals. So I also had this rickrack, this green rickrack, and my original thought, I will just tell you, my original thought was I was going to have all these flowers be like a big flower bouquet and have the rickrack come out and have it be like a big floral bouquet. And I could not, for the life of me, make it look like a floral bouquet. It just looked like a big clump of flowers. So as soon as I started looking at the colors and making a rainbow, I felt so much better about the layout. So the other thing that I will tell you is be okay with changing what you were going to do. Even if you have something in your mind, if it doesn't work when you lay it out, that's okay. Find another way. So that's what I did here is I found another way. I found a way to make this work. I really end up loving how this page turned out. It is by far one of the most intricate pages I've done in a long time, but really it's just one piece of pattern paper, and there you see all of them laid out. One piece of pattern paper for all the flowers, some brads, and some ribbon. It's not a lot of embellishments, and yet it makes a huge statement. So punches can really, really make your page go farther. Now, my problem with ribbon in general, and rickrack is one of those, is that it sops up the wet glue and it goes into the fabric. So because it does that, it's really hard to get ribbon to stick down, particularly on a page like this. A lot of times you'll see me use the red line tape or the score tape. I didn't have one that was thin enough to kind of go behind the rickrack. So I'm going to use my my ATG gun to kind of set it on that. Now, if I had been smart, I would have gotten one of my stamp blocks, but I just didn't think about it until it was too late. But it is a real pain in the butt getting ribbon or rickrack to stick with wet glue like this. And there's my little AirPods. I use my AirPod case to hold it down. So now I'm going to back those two photos, and you can see on the right over there that I am chatting. I'm actually doing this page as part of Heather's Crafty's Life Patreon Scrap and Chat. And if you're not a member, you should go follow Heather. She is actually the one who's leading this 15 days of May. And then for those of us in her Patreon group, she's doing an additional 15 days. So we're getting 30 days straight of videos from Heather on different topics. And it's really kind of cool. It's really nice that she's including me in these 15 days. And it's motivated me to do a lot more pages. But one of the other things we get as part of her Patreon group is live scrap and chats or live scrap parties. And I was doing this as part of one of those scrap and chats. And that's important to note as we get closer to the end of the video, because I do add some stuff to the to the page based on that live scrap and chat because people were talking and we were kind of working together on some pages that she was doing. So I have backed that page pictures in that paper. The Go the Scenic Route is a collection I know that came out a while ago. I am just now using it, and I really, really like it. It's perfect for my Ireland pages. It's perfect for just around the town pages. It's bright, it's vibrant. It has a rainbow of colors, but it tends towards teals and pinks, like you can see there. So it's just really, really nice. So I'm looking for a title. And I know that I don't want to have to use a lot of stickers. There's not a lot of space on this page. And I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put a title. There is my foam tape that I hate so much that I am so close. When I get to the video where I use the end of this foam tape, I think there's going to be some sort of giveaway. I'm going to give away something, like I don't know what, but if you've been watching me through all these videos and you know the struggle I have with that foam tape, when I get rid of that foam tape, I think maybe I'll do like a subscriber goodie bag or something and do a random.org drawing because I will really feel like I've accomplished something. I know some people like look for subscriber totals. I'm just trying to get rid of that foam tape. Man, it's been a struggle. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, the scenic collection, or the scenic route. I was trying to find a title, and there's really no room on this layout to put a title. And I don't want to take away from, I spent so much time backing those clouds or making those clouds, and I don't have a lot of them left. And I decide that I'm going to take the lower right hand corner of one of those pictures and put the perfect day. And it was just, we went to Ireland in 2014 and we happened to pick like a drought season in Ireland and there was no rain. Everybody told us there was going to be rain. I bought rain boots and brought them with me. We had sweaters and coats and everything and ended up being this gorgeous, just sunny, beautiful weather the whole time. And this particular just courtyard of gorgeous flowers. It was just wonderful to see. So here is the nod to Heather. Heather hates birds. She hates them. And we challenged her to put a bird on one of her layouts that she was doing during the live. And so I put a bird on my layout that I was doing at the same time, just kind of to say, oh, hey, I put a bird on my layout too. Now, I don't hate birds the way she does. I, in general, don't put a lot of like random animals on my pages. Now, I am not a fan of wood grain. So that's the one thing that everybody usually challenges me to use. So I'm going to just trim off these florals just to make the page fit into a page protector. And then I'm going to zoom in on the page so you can see it up close. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you get out and start using some of your punches and your brads. I love how this page turned out. I love the concept. So thanks for watching. Please watch the other ladies doing the 15 days in May, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.